Hey y'all, got something different for you today. We got a Ravin R10 we're going to restring. We've been having a lot of these come through the shop lately, and we also sell a lot of strings and cables for these. So we're going to kind of go through it real quick. We've had people call about shipping them in, and that's fine. You can go to our website or give us a call. Information is below about doing that. This is a local guy. We're going to get him restrung, got him some new bolts, and going to get him going again. He's got a little bit of separation on his cables. Alright, so let's start with the cables themselves. A lot of trouble seems to be happening with these factory cables, so we've had a lot of folks have us custom make them. When we custom make them, we actually stretch them under 400 pounds of tension for a good while, a specified amount of time, and that, from what we've heard, seems to really help this issue. These things are just separated all to pieces. So with these Ravins, there's a couple things you really got to look at. One is the axle to axle length when you get it strung, and the other is the timing dots, and the third thing is the cam lean. So we got a few things we do to make sure it's perfect. Let me grab our cables. So we get our cables matched as perfectly as possible. We run our piece of string through here, and this helps us get it through the tiny little gap we got there in the cam. It pulls it right through with no problem. Now, I will say I've seen a lot of folks and had a lot of folks call about using a Ravin press. What we use is the Last Chance Easy Press system with the micro adapter. I have tinkered with the Ravin press, and honestly, I just did not feel safe using it. You know, I guess it's good for something if you're just playing around at home, you know, and once in a blue moon you're restringing one, but as far as a lot of use, I would not be comfortable using that press just from what I've seen. So it definitely works, it's just a little different. Alright, here's some of the old cables. Get it to focus here. Well, maybe not. You can tell. I'm sure if you got a Ravin, you know it chews the factories up pretty bad. So, let's get our other side of cables on. We've about got this down to a science. This year, for some reason, I've had a lot of these come in. So we use our same laser system we use on the bow to get the cam lean out and all that. It works out pretty good. But if you have any questions, definitely give us a call, because I know a lot of folks do this at home and have the Ravin press. Pretty much what we found out is get everything on, let it sit for a minute with the tension off, check your timing dots, cock it for about 10 minutes, let it down, check the timing dots, make a few shots with it, check the timing dots, and make adjustments as needed. Most of the time there's not much adjustment needed, but occasionally a little. I found with these cables, you've got, if you really wanted to, roughly about 3 twists either direction. So if you're holding it out in front of you and you twist the right side away from you, you're going to be adding twist and shortening the cable, and the opposite would be true for making it longer. Okay. Another trick is, if you're doing this at home, to take a piece of string of some sort, put through that loop, and it'll pull right through that gap. Otherwise, you're going to have a big bird nest of fibers to mess with. And make sure you got a little bit of wax on that loop as well to make it easier for you. Okay, so we got those on. So now let's get our string on here. And we'll get our cables clicked on after that, and we'll almost be ready to start getting our cams right. So just be careful according to what press you're using. I don't like getting my fingers all up in here too much, but you got to a certain degree. Click the cables on, the little brass grommets. There we go. Alright, we got our cables on. Usually I'll just do a quick, as I'm letting the press down, make sure it feels like I got roughly the same tension on the cables. Then what I'll do is take our Spot Hog laser alignment tool that we use on the compound bow, and I'll put it on each side of the cam and see where we're at. So let me come in closer to where you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So what I'll do is take this particular ruler here we use for string making. I'll put the 0 dead on the cam. It looks like on the camera it's not on 0, but I promise you I got it dead on 0 if you're standing behind me. Let's see if I can back up so you can see it better. I don't know if that's any better or not. See if I can get us in focus. There we go. I'll lay this thing on one side of the cam. You got to put it just right so you don't hit the rail. Now, it's hard for you to see, but we're right at a 1/2 inch on that side. I'm going to flip it to this side. And we're right at a 1/2 inch flat on that side. So that tells me that cam's good. We'll do it on the other side. Let me back you up. Get you back in focus. And all we're doing is putting this on 0. Flat on one side, flat on the other side. We're at a good starting point. Second thing I'm going to look at is our timing dot. So if you look here, you got 2 timing dots that you want the cable to run through the middle of. We are pretty much in the middle the way we sit. I didn't have to do any certain adjustments. We've tweaked these strings and cables and stretched them to where they should be very, very, very close when we first put them on, and that's where we're at. So what I'm going to do now is cock this thing for about 10 minutes, let it sit, probably go ahead and fire an arrow out of it, and then I'm going to come back and check our timing dots. If they hadn't moved, I'm going to do it a second, probably a third time. At that point, we call it good. But if you have to and something gets just a smidgen off, I'll put a half twist and get my timing dots back right. I'm also going to check my axle to axle. I'm dead on 10.5, so I'm happy with that. I've got the pressure off of the bow. It's just holding up by a bungee cord on the crossbow arm. So I'm going to cock it. We'll be back in a second. Well, there you have it. We got this thing restrung. We cocked it, shot it, did the whole 9 yards. We got our timing dots where we want them. So she's ready to go. If you need any strings or cables, give us a call, 864-735-8484. If you're an internet type of person, archeryshackstrings.com. We have our Ravin stuff listed on there. And if you're not local, we've had some folks ship them in. Just give us a call and we'll get you set up for that. But thanks for watching. Happy hunting, and I hope you shoot a big one.